Hi guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Happy Thursday, sir.
Happy Easter Thursday.
Yeah, big weekend.
It is a big weekend. If you're a rabbit, or a chicken, or a chocolate manufacturer.
Yes, many people are observing the whole
you know, it is an amazing time of the year to celebrate. And spring is here. We're so excited about that as well. Though I hear up northeast that it's still pretty bristly cold.
Yeah, we're enjoying the beautiful weather down here.
Hey, it's also a very special day in Mustang history.
What is that, Christopher?
Well, on April 17th of 1964, the Mustang was revealed to the public at the World's Fair in New York.
61 years ago today.
61 years ago today.
World's Fair in Flushing, New York.
Flushing, New York, which is Queens.
Yep.
And so, let's see, people saw the Mustang there as part of that World's Fair display, as part of what was called a Magic Skyway of all new, modern, futuristic Ford products, but the Mustang was a big one from then. And the Mustang now, 61 years later, has its own day based upon that introduction date.
Why was it called Mustang, Chris?
Well, there's several theories on that, but I think the most popular theory is it was named after the P-51 Mustang against a military fighter from World War II.
Good deal.
Yeah. Some people say that it might have to do simply with horses, but I don't think so. You know, there was such, coming out of World War II and our air superiority, the Mustang was a really big plane, so it made sense for Ford to go ahead and kind of capture that excitement on a new vehicle. And we happen to have one of those first Mustangs here with us today.
So how many generations?
7 generations of Mustang.
7. So right behind you, you've got number 1, generation 1, right?
Generation number 1, and over here we have generation 7.
Now generation 1 comes with the classic truck.
That's correct. Comes with the 77 F-150, but it's not its birthday today. So we're going to try to, really kind of bestow some celebrity status on the birthday car here.
Looking at this horse, Chris, this Mustang logo that they put in there. What's going on with that? Why is it? Well,
that's just so interesting. And I've heard stories over the years, and PJ, you finally sent me some information on it, and it makes sense. Now, I've never been to a horse track. I've never bet on the horses. But I'm told that when horses run around the track, they run counterclockwise, right?
Yeah.
So the horse is running that way.
Right.
Especially
across the finish line.
Across the finish line. So when Lee Iacocca, yes, the same Lee Iacocca who did the Chrysler minivan, put together the Mustang with his team, they didn't want a trained horse. They wanted a wild horse. So they made sure that on that Mustang, that the Mustang is running the opposite direction.
Yeah, and west.
And west.
That was a big key too.
That's correct, to kind of symbolize that great outdoors of the American West. You've got to realize in the 1960s, Westerns were really, really big. You probably saw Gunsmoke and High Bonanza and all those shows. So they wanted to popularize not only the plain the Mustang, but the Wild West and the Mustang, and ranches and excitement and power.
So the first gen comes out.
1964 and a half, April 17th, commonly called the 1965. And there's some highlights on it. PJ, I can't read that small print.
That's all right. It's good. Introduce the pony car segment of the industry.
That's correct. Now the question is, did the Mustang come out before the first muscle car, which was the GTO? Came out slightly after. But once the Mustang came out, in fact, the first weekend the Mustang came out, they sold 22,000 of them. The very first weekend.
Chris, those are crazy numbers.
Crazy numbers.
Because you told me earlier, Corvette in an entire year
might only sell 22,000.
Wow.
That's correct. And from 1964, mid-64 to 1966, through the end of the model year, 1 million Mustangs. 1 million.
That's crazy.
Huge. So Mustang deserves being around for 61 years.
Especially this one.
Especially that one. Now we're going to quickly go through the generations from 2 to 7 without getting this episode to run too long.
Right.
Second generation, you can see it right there. That's not my favorite generation of the Mustang. I've got to tell you, that's, you know, the end of the, there's no power in those. The 74 to 78 before the Fox body came in. So that's not the most popular one, but there is a cool car from the second gen. It's called the King Cobra. And what's interesting is that the King Cobra was designed by, at least marketing designed by Jim Wangers, the GTO marketing guru. Okay, let's jump over to Gen 3. Undeniably the most famous generation of the Mustang. The Fox body, 1979 to what, 1991?
93.
1993. Okay, got it.
And the fourth gen.
Fourth gen, another great looking car.
From 94 to 2004.
Fifth gen from 05.
Look at that.
Another really good looking Mustang right there.
All the way up to 2014.
2014,
now
correct.
we got the sixth gen.
Sixth gen, we gave away some of these.
Yep, and that went all the way up to
all
2023.
The way up to the seventh gen, and the dark horse here in 2024. Let's look under the hood and see what's changed between 1965 and 2024.
I'll give everybody a quick look up. Well, we got a lot of stuff going on here from ACC parts here that we got. American Carcraft stuff. It's gorgeous stuff in here. Chris, the logo has changed a little bit. Now, not the logo for the Mustang here, but this particular portion of it, right?
Correct. The Dark Horse logo is brand new to the 7th generation and to the top of the line Mustang available from Ford.
And it's all over these new incredible stuff that ACC puts out.
It is. This is all in custom engine bay here. However, it's still a small block Ford. 302 cubic inches here. The heads are way different than what you're seeing here in this first gen. But the first gen, for its day, was an amazing motor. Solid lifter. People were racing these all over the place. K-code, so rare. Only about 1% of all Mustangs in 65 and 66 received that 289 cubic inch, 271 horse engine. PJ, I need to catch my breath. Who is watching us today?
Roger says, and then came the Pinto.
And then came the Pinto.
Thomas says, nice car truck combo, great colors. Absolutely, love the colors on the Classic.
Caspian blue and over here Vapor blue. They're not that far different from each other. But let's talk about the difference in horsepower in 61 years. 271, and over here 850 horsepower.
Do you think when they were putting together that first gen that they were thinking this could be the way it is when they get the 7th gen?
No, I don't think they had any idea that 61 years later that Mustangs would be on the road, streetable, full of tire, air conditioning, 10-speed automatic dual clutch transmissions, 850 horsepower. I don't think they could envision that at all.
Yeah.
Not saying they weren't visionaries, but that's a really leap and bound from the start of the Mustang to where it is
You've got
today.
the call outs, everything about this. I actually parked this in here, and sitting in this cabin was unbelievable the way everything was looking. You can see all those screens, a lot of tech in here, a lot of digital stuff going on. It's a pretty impressive car.
It really is.
And it's only half the price.
Half the price.
The newest one we've got.
Correct, the Bronco being the other half of the prize. That one, 455 horsepower. And all those wonderful mods from our friends at CJ Pony Parts.
So one winner is going to get both of the Classic and the Classic
truck,
and then
one winner will get the Bronco and the Dark Horse.
Amazing,
over here.
Incredible 61 years.
61 years of the Mustang. You got to give the Ford credit. You got to give the Mustang credit. It took off, and it continues to take off. In fact, the Mustang is the last gas-powered muscle car being built in America. There's no more Camaros. There's no more Chevelles. There's no more Chargers and Challengers that are gas-powered only. The Mustang is the last one left. Last one standing. of the
Some people
internal
would call
combustion
the,
engine.
Cadillac maybe a muscle car.
Yeah, I don't
It's a-
call it a muscle car. It's a performance sedan,
Yeah.
not a muscle car. Remember, muscle car has to be two doors, right?
doors, yeah.
The Cadillacs are four doors in
Right.
that case. So happy birthday, Mustang.
Yeah, super happy.
Now, we had promised you guys a look at some Easter eggs, so we're going to save that episode for Monday. So after the Easter Bunny shows us all the Easter eggs on the new cars here, we're going to go around and we're going to hide some Easter eggs near the vehicles, and we're going to talk about the Easter eggs that the manufacturers put in those vehicles.
Yeah. Michael has a question. Do you think that if you're looking at a 2010 Mustang in decent shape, would it be worth buying?
2010. A V8 powered Mustang with a manual stick? Absolutely.
Yeah, good stuff.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. I will be off tomorrow as we start kicking off Easter weekend in gear. So you have a great and a blessed Easter weekend. We'll see you on Monday. More great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes. It only happens right here.